In the big ocean lives a happy group of octopuses. They live among the orange coral because of how well it matches their skin. Being able to blend in gives the octopuses an advantage against its predator, the shark, and they also feed here on the small red fish found near their coral homes. The color orange is the dominant gene found among the octopuses in this community, although there have been some blue octopuses, which is representative of the recessive gene. One afternoon, a group of octopuses swam out to find some lunch. They head to a spot where they know there are many fish. The octopuses find their usual spot, and sure enough, there are plenty of fish to eat. Just as the octopuses are about to begin their feast, they notice movement above them in the water. Quickly, a large net descends and engulfs the fish, as well as some of the octopuses. A few are able to escape and quickly swim back to the safety of the reef. The net is slowly raised up to the boat. The fishermen, as they travel back to shore, discover the orange octopuses in their yield and decide that it would be really a hassle to bring octopuses into the docks, so they drop them off before they reach the bay. As the octopuses are released into their new home, they discover that it is very different from their old one. There's bigger fish to eat, and the coral here is blue, not orange. This happens time and time again as the fishermen are returning back to the bay at the end of their long fishing trips. Little by little, the orange octopuses start to get used to their new home. As they live in the depths of the blue coral, there are different, bigger fish that they eat for food. Slowly, over generations, they mutate to have larger beaks and suction cups that are more effective in changing and catching the larger fish found amongst the blue coral. In their new habitat, they start to have baby octopuses. Some have the dominant orange gene, while others have the recessive blue gene. Without any selective pressures of a predator, both the orange and the blue octopuses begin to populate their new habitat. Naturally, the octopuses stay near the coral because in their old habitat, it was what they used to hide from their predators. But in this new habitat, the orange octopuses have no camouflage. Suddenly, their most dangerous predator of the ocean arrives, the sharks. The octopuses bolt to the coral to escape the dangerous predator. The blue octopuses camouflage easily in the coral and are extremely hard to see. Meanwhile, the orange octopuses try their best to hide in the blue coral, but they are unable to camouflage. The orange octopuses are spotted in the blue coral and they're snatched right up by the sharks. The sharks are satisfied with their meal and leave the area. Now, sadly, all the orange octopuses that used to live in this area have been eaten. The sailors stop bringing orange octopuses for a little while, and the blue octopuses continue to thrive and grow in the area. Years and years later, the fishermen accidentally pick up a few orange octopuses and release them back in the area where the blue octopuses live. They realize their differences, and the orange and blue octopuses do not mate with each other because now they are different species. After each generation, more mutations would occur that would help the next generation of octopuses have a higher chance of survival. Among these mutations were longer beaks and larger suction cups. Not every octopus was born with these genes every time, so these genes were classified as recessive genes. Some octopuses were born with longer beaks, and some were lucky enough to be born with larger suction cups. The octopuses that were born with larger beaks and suction cups had a higher chance of survival compared to any other octopus that was not born with both of those genes. Later, each mating season brought more octopuses that had each gene that would allow them to dominate the area in which they lived. If we compare the new species of the blue octopuses to the original octopuses, we will notice a few differences. As mentioned before, the old species had orange skin, a short beak, and small suction cups. These characteristics were the perfect fit for its surroundings. It could blend into the orange coral to hide from its enemies, along with being able to catch the smaller prey for food. The original orange octopuses had smaller beaks along with smaller suction cups. This hurt the orange octopuses more than it helped them. In the new territory, the fish were larger than what they were used to. Since the orange octopuses both had smaller beaks and smaller suction cups, they were unable to catch the new species of fish. The orange octopus had their skin color and their lack of hunting skills against them. If we look at the blue octopus, it has blue skin as well as a longer beak and suction cups. In the beginning of the video, we saw how the orange octopus could not survive in its new environment due to it not having the correct tools to survive there. After many generations, a blue octopus was born. Through natural selection, this octopus was able to survive in its new environment. The blue octopuses were able to blend into the blue coral and hide from sharks, along with having the correct beak and tentacles to survive in its new environment. Once all the octopuses turned blue, this dominant gene was then passed down from generation to generation. Now, these adaptations may not seem important, but these adaptations meant life or death for these animals. If we were to introduce the blue back into the orange octopus's territory, their roles would be reversed. Their blue skin would not allow them to blend into the coral, nor would their beaks and suction cups allow them to properly catch their prey.
Wildlife.